podcast and small businesses in general. Until you start talking to everybody. All right, here we go. We're live now, and here we go.
You tell everybody that where to go find it.
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Texas to Tennessee podcast. I am Soul Gravy, and we are Steveless tonight. So there's no telling what's going to happen. All hell may break loose. But tonight we are joined by Ghost of Hill County. Hey, I got that. I got it right.
Hey.
Welcome in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
We got Randall and Roy, so appreciate the time. If you don't mind, just take a minute and kind of explain who the hell is Ghost of Hill County.
You first.
Okay.
Well, we are first and foremost, we're a group of friends, and that's kind of how it started. Just a group of friends getting together and just messing around, and we all had similar interests in music, kind of based in country and blues and classic rock and that kind of thing. And this dude just happens to be a really good singer and songwriter, and so we started putting some stuff together, and it just took off from there. It took off really fast, probably faster than any of us were anticipating, for sure.
3 years in.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Ghost of Hill County. We're out of Hill County, Texas, in the Whitney area. County. But yeah, that's basically what we got.
So where did the ghost part come in? Is that's
it's like a tribute to the
Okay.
people before us, the musicians from our area, before us.
That's
I mean, there's not a lot of them, but
Well, and it was, there's a couple stories we like to tell. Like there's that, and then there's also kind of the idea that, like, if you're from a small town, you can't help but sometimes feel drawn back to that place. Even like as you get older, you kind of want to come back, or if you get past a certain age, you're like, why the hell would I leave? I'll just stay here, got my roots here. So you kind of feel almost trapped, like a ghost would be. So there's that aspect of it.
I got you.
I didn't know it was that deep.
It's pretty deep. It's deeper than
I was just asked to sing. That's all.
I was just
I just saying, I don't know what
I had a PA, so they asked me to join.
They're like, hey, we're gonna have this band. This is gonna be the name. Are you in or out?
It's so funny because he's one of the best singers I've ever met. And when we started the band, he played bass. How stupid is that? It made no sense at all.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
bass players are sometimes hard to pick up, especially when we're trying to do original
that's
music.
true.
Yeah, but I wasn't a good one.
We're lucky to have a good one now.
What he's not telling you though is, like, it wasn't supposed to ever be a serious project, like somebody's get a tea time on Sunday and go play golf. For us, it was like, hey, let's get together and just play some music, get out of the house for a little bit. And we didn't have a bass player at the time, so I was like, I'll play the bass. We're just jamming at the house, ain't nobody gonna hear it. And then we actually got a bass player, and then we're like, hey, let's book one show, and then let's have some actual rehearsals. And then we wrote one song,
Yeah.
and then you know what I'm getting at. It just kept building from there, and then all of a sudden now we're having to ask days off of our jobs. Like, hey, I got to go do this thing with my band. I'm not gonna be at work tomorrow.
Yeah, now we're at the point where we're getting yelled at by our wives because we're gone too much,
So did it start as a cover project to start with?
Pretty much, yeah.
No, we didn't have no original.
We really didn't even intend on writing music initially. We were literally just gonna mess around
with your buddy.
We've talked about this before. We had both kind of retired from music, and we were just doing regular, jobs, I'd been doing music for 10 or 15 years before that. And, you get married and you have a kid, and it's like, all right, it's time to grow up and, you know, move past that stuff. And we just happened to kind of run into each other and did a couple of little kind of like benefit type things together or whatever. And we got along great as friends. And it was like, dude, we should mess around and see what we can't do.
I'd had a band, a self-titled band, like 10 years ago, and he had came and sat in a couple of times with us and played guitar for us. And I always told him, like, hey, if I don't have a guitar player, like, I would like to have you as an option. And he was always like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I knew him from like from before this project and before we decided to like just jam together. But he was an amazing guitar player then, and then so I retired from it for a while, tried to make some music, and then he asked me to pop in on a project, and I was like, dude, what happened? I thought we weren't
Yeah.
like now we've already wasted 10 years, brother. Like
Now we're old.
now we're great. Now you want to do it?
Right. So give me a few songs that would have been on that original set list. What kind of flavor of music are we talking?
Tom Petty.
Yeah, we did
Can't
like
go wrong there.
some of the real like traditional cover band songs like Mary Jane's Last Dance, that kind
Understand.
of stuff.
Okay, but what are
think
what are some stuff that you really enjoyed?
Well,
we all,
it's funny because there's one that we started with that we still cover now that
that's
we'll
cool.
probably cover forever. We do Hurricane by Band of Heathens, and
Mhm.
everybody kind of does it, but man, we do it. Everybody does. Oh, we do it our way. We do it a certain way, and we love playing it. The people seem to really like the way we do it, so um,
I think
that was on there.
I think Carson's a big part of that though. Like
Yeah,
the
our
original
drummer.
Light's
Yeah,
different because he throws a lot of double bass in at the end. It's like you feel like you're at a metal concert just for a second.
Right.
yeah.
I don't know if it's doing the band of Heathens any justice or not, but we sure do have fun with
He's the metal head of the band for sure.
it.
Always the drummer. You gotta
Always the drummer.
yeah. Calm down back there. Well, I mean, there, like you said, a lot of people have done that, but I can understand why, especially people that are in opening slots and things like that, because you're going to play a bunch of originals for a crowd that's there primarily for someone else. So you got to
Mhm.
bring them back, their interest back in and
Absolutely.
everything. So I completely understand. And that's a safe song and a fun song to play. It's not something that you're
That's
all
kind of been our
bored
motto
through.
here lately.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely been our motto, like with the opening slots here lately. Is like we want to play our music because nobody's going to hear your music, unless you play it.
Right.
And when you get, and we don't want to be the headliners because we're still building our fan base. We're still really trying to like still slowly discovering who we are as a band. Like
That
our
makes
sound,
sense.
if you will.
Hmm.
And so our set will be filled with mainly our music, but there's a couple of highlights of the hits. You know what I mean? Just to kind of give people a break and maybe stay interested or bring them back, like you say, so that way maybe the next song that we play is one of ours, and now they're paying attention again.
Hmm.
Because like you said, we're just a supporting act, and
Hey,
they're there to see somebody else.
it didn't dawn on me back when I saw this, but now actually talking to all these different people, it makes sense of why he did it. We saw Jinx in Memphis forever ago with about 100 people in the room, and he did 3 or 4 covers in his set, and
Yeah.
which I was thinking like you got enough songs. This was at the Adobe Sessions time where it was.
Oh
He was
yeah.
still in Dirty Dolly. He was still, you know what I mean. He was still in the RV, but he had a lot of good songs. He could have played his whole show, but he still did those to be safe. He still threw in those Waylon songs and the Willie songs just to bring the crowd back in case they weren't, all in. So
That's still
it,
part of the charm, though, isn't it? Like part of the fun.
yeah,
Yeah. You
no,
never know what somebody's
Because
gonna
like I
play.
mean, somewhere like deep inside, like you're still a fan.
mhm,
Yeah.
Like you might be headlining or playing a show, and everybody's there to see you, but you're still a
Well,
fan of the music.
like Geo, we played this big festival with Giovanni and the Hired Guns, and it the way the crowd was, it was probably more of a like a traditional country kind of thing. And so when they came out and did their thing, I don't know that they really had them initially, the crowd. Well, then they did a Garth Brooks song. They did
Friends in Low Places.
Friends in Low Places.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, they had them. It was like that sucked them in, and the crowd loved everything they did from that point going forward.
Freaking tuba.
And the tuba is pretty cool too.
Yeah, and chicks dig the tuba, right?
Hey, wait a minute! I need you to don't say that too loud because my son's in the other room and he plays the tuba and he don't need no more ego. I'm not kidding you. His tuba is 10 feet away from us right now.
I understand. Mine did the French harp or French horn, not harp, French horn in the band forever. All right, so how did we get to the point where you released your first single, at least what I could see on Spotify in 2023, which was, I think, Nicotine?
Yes, sir.
How did you get to just, banging around, trying to, get some original songs together, jamming with your buddies to, hey, I don't think a lot of people understand how nerve-wracking and how big of a step putting that first song out there is. I mean, you might listen to it, and cringe now, but still, it doesn't matter. Like putting that out there for the first time is like it's a nerve wracking and a big deal.
Absolutely, it's funny because I think it's obviously the song that we've played the most, Nicotine.
Okay,
but I think we're all still super proud of it because for it to be the first song we wrote, we got pretty lucky, I think.
Well, you put a studio version out and everything, right? I mean, so a lot of people have to settle for a home recording or a acoustic version or something like that for their first thing to put out. So
that was kind of our deal. Is like we didn't want to halfway do it. That's kind of a motto for our band. Is we don't like to halfway do anything. If we're going to do it, we like to just do it.
I got you.
Yeah, if you hear something of ours on any platform, it don't matter what it is. Like if you hear it, we're proud of it.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. So we had played a few shows and did the whole cover thing, and it was fun, but I think you just can't take the when you're a creative type person, you can't really make that go away. So inevitably it was going to happen. And I think he had brought, did you have like part of the song or the whole song?
To practice?
Yeah.
I had the majority of the lyrics written, but we were still trying to work the melody out.
And
that's where we were bouncing around. Whenever a couple people was outside and me was inside bouncing the melody around and came back, and that's when they were like, "What?"
And that was the thing. It was one of those deals where it was like almost like lightning in a bottle. He was like, "Hey, check this thing out," and he played it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's really good." And so we messed with it for a few minutes while the other guys were outside, and then by the time that practice was over, that song was done. It was wild. It like everybody loved it, and we just went, and it worked out. So we had played enough shows where we had saved up money. We knew we wanted to record it, and our drummer found. It's so funny. Do you listen to any like heavy metal music?
I mean, I'm an '80s baby and a '90s kid, so there's Pantera and like that kind of stuff.
So
they recorded there.
Our drummer found a studio in Dripping Springs called the Machine Shop.
I've heard of it.
And it's like this world-renowned metal recording studio. They'd done like Lamb of God and all these like super heavy bands. And he was like, it's going to be really good. We should take this song and see if they'll record it there and help us out with it. And so we contacted them and they were down to do it. They didn't charge us an arm and a leg. And so we went down for a day and knocked that song out. And that's what we ended up with. It was like best case scenario because the recording quality is insane. And I don't think it really sounds like a lot of the other music like that, production wise. So it just worked out. It was nice.
And it kind of set you I'm sure working with them, they didn't already have this, this, they were shooting for your sound, I guess, instead of trying to, put you, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
for
think,
sure.
I think the difference between the songs that we recorded later at SG Studios and what we did with that one is, I think mainly because it was a heavier bass place. They didn't try to do a whole lot of producing. It was kind
Just
of just
let
like,
you.
what do you guys want? Whatever you want, lay it down. Do you like it? Do you not like it? You are paying for the time, so whatever you want in there is what. It wasn't a whole lot of try this, try that, you know. So I think that that's the main reason why it came out the way it did, is because we were able to have what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking
Because
for?
it's you.
We had played it enough by
Artistic
that point.
freedom.
Yeah, we had played the song enough times by that point where we kind of knew what it was
Mm.
gonna sound like,
But even still, though, the song's kind of evolved a little bit since then too. What do they say? Like when you write a song, play it for 6 months and then record it because you get the
Gotcha.
like the latest version
Yeah.
of it. You know,
Mm.
so I think we recorded it a little bit early because I think we played it just a little bit different than the record, but pretty close.
Still a good jam.
One of my favorites.
And then, so what kind of come after that? I mean, you just, I know you started putting singles out. Um, did that kind
Yeah,
of did you get the bug after that where you wanted, did that
100%.
Oh, I
speed
want to
things
go back
up
the
for
next
you?
day.
Yeah,
Oh, you
100%. It actually did pretty well. I mean, we didn't admittedly we didn't really know a ton about what like what to do, you know.
I don't think
We
anybody
our whole
does.
deal, like I grew up in the early 2000s, like punk rock scene. I was young and that's what I played, and it was all DIY. There was no,
Right.
like, to be on a record label was almost bad, you know. So I had no idea what to do, and the stuff that Randall had done had left a little bit to be desired. I don't.
Well, they went out of business.
Yeah. So we kind of really didn't know what to do. So we had recorded that song. Um, we got we got some pretty good stream numbers and stuff like that, and found out that's what you needed to have, you know. And so we just started saving up money and started looking for a good recording studio to do the next batch of songs. We knew we wanted to do a record, or at least more than one song, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so we looked around, and luckily we found a guy named Greg White.
Shout out Greg
Shout
White.
out Greg White. He completely babysat us and showed us the ropes, and
That was a reality check.
that was a super
As
reality check
as
for us
far
for
as what
sure.
babysat you and showed you the ropes on
Well,
which part?
you know, we came in like,
Like
Is
we
this
did
the
with
the
hey
studio?
man, we
Is this the
know these
studio part?
songs.
The
Yeah,
studio
yeah, yeah,
side?
yeah.
Okay,
so like
I
what we were
got you.
saying earlier, where there wasn't a whole lot of production at the machine shop, right?
Right, I
That's
got
not
you.
Greg. That's not Greg. So when we stepped in there, you know, to work with Greg, Greg's a producer.
Yeah.
So when he immediately was like, "Hey, let's try this here," I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, hold on. This is our songs." He's like, "Look, man, we're gonna work better if I make a suggestion, just try it. If you don't like it, say I don't like it, then we'll move on. But at least try it."
Yeah.
And then after we got that out of the way, our relationship got a lot better. But that was a reality check going to somebody that actually cares about the music they put out. You know?
And he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what was so intimidating for us, is because we, like, when you get around a like a pro, you can't really bullshit your way through stuff, you know? Like you gotta know what you're doing. And so, you know, when he says, yeah, that's the wrong chord for that, or that progression doesn't work, you just go, okay, you're right. Well, I won't do that, you know.
I think you almost broke a guitar in there trying to.
Oh, there was a couple times. But that's a great thing about Greg, is he knows how to, he's done it enough times and done it with so many different like artists, that he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to sort through the stuff, and nothing ever got really bad. It wasn't like a Metallica recording session. Nobody was punching each other or anything like that. So that's great.
But like it would blow your mind if you listened to like if you was able to find any like live videos of the songs that were played before they were recorded
Hmm.
to see where they
Yeah.
were and where he took them. There's so many parts in the songs that wasn't there before, and that's all, you know, a producer, you know, and that's what we're still like navigating and learning, and we'll probably get a different experience, you know, next time we go in with this next batch of songs, but least we have a little bit to expect now.
Well, I guess this applies to I guess both studio settings, but I'm curious how when you got your final mix back and you go out to the car, especially on the first one. The first one's probably going to be always the most romantic, right? But just
Yeah.
just in general, when you get, I mean, you've put all this time into these, into your music. When you get that mix back and you go listen to it in the car, it's how is that as far as because it's all your buddies, you know?
If if anybody tells you that they don't get emotional, they're lying their ass off,
Or they don't care.
or they don't care. Dude, when we got that first mix back of Nicotine, I know I teared up,
I did.
like, because you
Boy, it was tangible at that point. It was
Yeah.
that
That's
was
what
real.
yeah.
yeah,
You can
because
play it live or at a bar or whatever as much as you want, but to actually have it, I could only imagine how much more that would be to be on like a vinyl or something. That would be crazy too.
Oh, man.
But just knowing you and your buddies made whatever is coming out of your car speaker, it's got to be
it's great.
crazy.
It's one of the coolest feelings on the planet, man.
I think
It's super cool.
the way that the to your point, because we all have day jobs, like we don't play music full time, as much as we would like to. And when you tell your kids, it's okay to chase your dreams and go for it, whatever you want to do it. But then they see you not doing it yourself, right? So when you get that first recording back, my first thought was, if this never works out for us and I continue doing power line work the rest of my life, I have proof to show my kids that I tried. And I think that was the most emotional part for me when we got that first mix back is I now have on paper that I can show my kids that I tried to chase my dreams too. And for me, that was my first feeling when I first heard the song recorded.
Mhm. Yeah, I can only the One Horse Town by Blackberry Smoke is like going through my head because in that story.
That's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
song right there is a great. Yeah, I mean that's especially coming from a one horse town. That means even more. Especially fast forward a few years, we've got a few songs, and people are proud of you. Like people in the town are proud of us, and even that
That's
is
cool.
like such a crazy feeling. It's
I'm
cool,
sure.
man.
I don't want
I'm
to
sure
say
it's
that we're small town famous, but can't go to the grocery store, dude.
Pretty small town.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's I don't know. To me, there's two different kinds of musicians, right? There's the ones that don't need anybody to tell them that they're good because they'll tell themselves how good they are. But then there's everybody else that's kind of vulnerable and unsure about, you know what I mean? Like musicians, they kind of either one or the other, right? They're either the
Oh, yeah.
extreme ego or everything I do sucks, right? So or they second guess everything they do. And then but to put that out there and now people it's one thing for people that's online to know your music or to find it or whatever, but when people that's a whole nother different set of being vulnerable.
Oh god.
Especially this kind of music, which is so funny because
Because
that
you
was the
appreciate
benefit
it,
to
I'm
playing.
sure.
Yeah, that's the benefit to playing like punk rock and heavy metal is like only a handful of people listen to that anyway. So like my parents listen to this kind of music, so they and my mom and dad will be like, yeah, that sucks, brother, but but they like it, and so that's a cool part of it too, is playing a more accessible kind of music for sure.
When like your family and some other people, like you got them investing in you now.
Oh yeah.
Here,
Mm.
let me help y'all with this. What are your other needs? And it's like, Jesus Christ, hope we don't let them down.
Yeah, that too, for sure.
Yeah, but it's way better than people not paying attention or not paying attention, but not understanding what you're doing or why you're doing it. Because that's difficult for people that don't have that bug or understand, why a musician does what they do. That's tough for people to get if they don't get it. It's hard
Yeah,
to
'cause it doesn't
understand.
make any sense.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a great
If
point.
you look at the odds of people being able to make a substantial living playing music, they're not very good.
Right, but
Yeah,
a lot of people that we talk to on this podcast, their goal is to, I just want to make a living doing what I'm
That's
doing.
it.
They're not like I would love to see my name. I'm pretty sure it was Bill Taylor, which is a East Kentucky guy. I'm pretty sure he said it like, I would love to see my name in lights, and he got to go on America's Got Talent, by the way, after that. But he's like, but I just want to make a living for my family. You know, I drive a truck for a living. I would rather play music, and that's
That's it.
that's literally it. I mean,
I,
we talk about that all the time.
all the time.
All it is if I could just help pay the bills, like
and do
nothing
what you love.
changes, and just help pay the bills with this. Holy moly,
Yeah, you
that's
make on the weekends playing music what you're making right now, Monday through Friday, being miserable. Why would you not just want to do something that you enjoy?
that, and that's been a hard thing for us because all of
Mm.
us, inevitably when you're talking to venues and stuff like that, they, how much you want to get paid, this and that. It's hard for us not to just go, just let us play. We just
I
want to play.
understand. Completely
Like
understand.
that's tough. That's such a tough part of this whole deal is the business side of it is brutal
I was about to
because
say that was the hardest learning curve for all of us was trying to treat it like a business and not, a
Just
hobby.
go jam.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we would play. Well, I don't even know if I should say that.
No,
No.
no.
He will
We
not play for
would, but our
free.
management team would not allow us to do that. So don't.
In spirit, he would love to play for free, but unfortunately,
In a perfect world,
we have to pay mortgages,
That's it.
yeah.
and it ain't cheap.
Sometimes
All
I
right,
feel guilty
so
taking the shit.
so if somebody's gonna come see your band, whether you're in an opening spot or whatever, what can they kind of we're about to get to the your song Headlights, but if they can come
Yeah.
see your band live, what can they kind of expect? What kind of sound? I know that's hard to
Well,
describe, but
a lot of times the easiest way for us to describe it is there's definitely elements of southern rock. There's elements of blues. We're big blues fans, and inevitably there's elements of country music. I think between those three, and to be perfectly honest, our drummer is a heavy metal guy, so it's hard to get away from that aspect of it too. Because when people do come hear us, I wouldn't call us like heavy, but like a whiskey Myers kind of thing where we're a
For
rock and roll band,
for the most part, not I wouldn't say 100% of the time, but maybe 7 out of 10 times, we're usually a little bit heavier than the people that we're performing with. Um, so like your Sam Riggs types guys, Uncle Lucius, that like
I
in that
understand.
realm,
Mm-hmm.
we're just a little bit heavier than usually who we're performing with. So yeah, I think Whiskey Myers is probably or Jason Isbell would be like a good comparison
yeah.
because he you know how Jason Isbell has like the softer elements of his show, and then he has
Super 8, and
yeah.
yeah.
I feel like that would be a fair comparison. They could expect sounds like that.
Well, now that I set y'all up for that, let's go to your single that you just put out, Headlights. Kind of give me a an intro to that, and whenever I hit play on that, I'll mute your microphone, and then I'll bring you back in when it's
All right.
over. So, and I'll put up a little picture,
So
so if y'all need to go leave and do
Oh,
something, you
perfect.
can. Yes, sir.
so the song Headlights, I wrote this song. This is actually one that's been in the bank for a while. I wrote this song a number of years ago. Um, and then the way that we kind of do things is most of the time I have majority of the lyrics ready, and then they write their parts like for the melodies and stuff. But I had this song written a while back. Me and my wife had just had, I think, our second baby, my son. He's 12 now, and we were still like like when you first get married and you start having children, there's not a whole lot of money. There's still like more week at the end of the paycheck. And I distinctly remember a time having to borrow $15 for diapers or formula or whatever the case may be. But with that being said, you still want to spend time with the person that you're creating this family with, right? But you don't necessarily have the funds to go do that. Um, but my wife would always tell me, she's like, look, I just want to be with you. Like it don't have to cost money.
Right.
Like let's go. There was this place called Hackberry Access that I used to go with my grandpa all the time. It's just a little dead end spot down at the lake. And we would literally turn, the headlights on and just sit out there by the water and that was that. And then so it got to a point to where that's what me and my wife started doing. Like we want to have a date night this week, but we don't have the money. So it'll cost us $2 in gas. Let's drive down to the lake and flip the headlights on and turn the radio up. And that's basically what the song's about.
Yeah. All right. Good job, man. All right, here we go. Here's their latest single. This came out August, I believe. I think that's what I wrote down.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
August 8th. All right. So yeah, here we go.
If I'm being honest, it has been a little while since we've been out all alone, and I've seen your beautiful smile. Well, tonight I'll make things right. Baby, we ain't staying home. I'm taking you out dancing under the stars till dawn. So tonight, let's let our love light up in the headlights of this old truck, spinning you around in an amber glow, thinking about how I wanna get you home. So tonight, let's turn the radio up and two-step all night long. Then maybe with a little luck, you don't play your favorite song with your head on my chest, wrapped up in my arms, with the headlights on. We'll drive where we want, and we'll turn our cell phones off. I've got a full tank of gas. Baby, I bet we'll get lost. No, we ain't got much time, so let's make tonight our night. And maybe if we beg, yeah, the sun will delay its light. So tonight, let's let our love light up in the headlights of this old truck, spinning you around in an amber glow, thinking about how I wanna get you home. So tonight, let's turn the radio up and two-step all night long. Then maybe with a little luck, it'll play your favorite song with your head on my chest, wrapped up in my arms, with the headlights on. So tonight, let's let our love light up in the headlights of this old truck, spinning you around in an amber glow, thinking about how I wanna get you home. So tonight, let's turn the radio up and two-step all night long. Then maybe with a little luck, it'll play your favorite song with your head on my chest, wrapped up in my arms, with the headlights on. With the headlights on.
All right, I like that. The
Instrument.
outro there. Um, I can. So I like it when, like you explained that song great, by the way. And then I've listened to it already, but then after you describe it, and then listening to it directly after, it makes it completely not completely different, but just more insight to what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, I guess you can see it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
See the story. So,
Good job,
um,
buddy.
uh, and he was the one didn't want to be on camera, and then
I know.
such
Every
a
time
great.
he does great.
I,
Yeah.
this is my worst nightmare happening right now.
Hey, I'm an introvert too, and here I am trying to ask questions like I know what the hell I'm talking about. So, um, but I do know what I'm not one of these guys that can listen to a song and dissect everything or whatever, but I can kind of tell what things matter to people. And tomorrow night, y'all are playing a pretty substantial Texas venue. Can you want to talk
Yes, we
about that?
are.
I mean,
Yeah, we're
this is a venue that's on like a lot of people's bucket list for a long time.
Including ours.
including ours. Yeah, we're playing Green Hall tomorrow night, which is an absolute dream come true. We're so excited. I made a post about it, kind of giving some insight into why it's such a big deal to me personally. My parents both grew up as I when I was growing up. Both my parents were huge blues fans,
Hmm.
and they went to Green Hall and saw. I don't know if you know a lot about blues, but there's a kind of a legend. His name's Buddy Guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of Hendrix's favorite guitar players. He's
The
just
polka dot.
phenomenal performer. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely phenomenal guitar player. And that's when they saw him at Green Hall, they came back and
Yeah,
explained to me
I can't even
it
imagine.
was more than just seeing Buddy Guy. We were at Green Hall watching Buddy Guy. So it's been kind of a such a far away thing for me forever, and now we're getting to play it. It's insane.
I I can understand that as far as the artist and the venue, like that combination sometimes would be insane. Like I saw Isabel at the Ryman.
Oh man.
That's pretty ridiculous, of a pairing. Just
Yeah.
I've seen Isabel before, but then putting him on that stage in that place, that's just yeah, just crazy. So I can only imagine because Green Hall is a little it's an older venue. It's rougher or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? More nostalgic,
Yeah.
I guess you'd say. And then you put a blues artist like that on that stage. That's like the perfect pairing.
Just like probably blowing the doors off. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
probably
there ain't
so
no
loud in
telling.
there. I
There ain't
can't
no telling.
imagine. I couldn't have been maybe 10 years old, maybe. And even then I understood like, holy cow, this is a big deal.
I already told Roy to bring his fan tomorrow night because there ain't no AC in there.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps telling us. You got to bring your fans. There's no AC.
Yeah, that's what I hear as far as like, oh, it'd be great to see a show there in December. That's what people keep telling me. Yeah, like summer, like July show is not your go to. Um,
Oh, I can't
but
even imagine.
so what? Let's make sure we talk about. Well, we got a little bit of time. But what's some things that are kind of on the on the horizon for y'all besides Green Hall and
Well, we're kind of coming to an end of this cycle for all our songs in the record that we put out. Um, I think I don't want to put a timeline on it because I'm not
yeah.
100% sure, but we're definitely going to record. We've got a handful of songs that we're working on. Um, the thing that I'm most excited about is we're completely revamping our show, all new songs, new originals, the whole nine yards. We're really excited about that too. And honestly, we just want to play. Like just going back to the way we were in the beginning, we're junkies, man. We're live show junkies. We just want to play.
Freaking Antones in December.
Yeah, and that's another one. We're at
Yeah,
Antone's in
that's
December, so
cool.
that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we just want to keep building. We've got a couple of cool opportunities coming up in the next year that we're really excited about as far as shows go. We're doing a few more with our buddy Sam Riggs. Yeah, just playing shows, getting some new music out there. We're really excited about that.
So, I didn't even know this until a few days ago, to be honest. That we were both of us were pimped out for a battle of the bands. That you that one of your prizes winning that thing was coming on this podcast, which is like the booby prize of this whole thing. But
Just now.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Right. What kind of I remember this being a conversation between Steve and I when this Battle of the Bands thing was going on. And also a friend of the pod, Bill Corbin, I think was involved in that as well, which is we've talked about before we started it. You know how not nice of a guy that guy is. Jeez, right?
Oh, the absolute worst.
The worst, yeah.
The worst person on the planet.
Exactly. Nobody likes Bill. But can I talk about that a little bit? This
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know much about the event, so.
Well, we weren't even supposed to be in the event. We applied, and I guess all the spots were already filled, but we were an alternate, and another band dropped out, and so we got a call to participate. And our expectations going into it were pretty low.
Yeah.
Our whole reasoning behind even trying to enter the competition, because I don't like competitions when it comes to stuff like this, anyways.
Understand.
But our whole agenda was just try to get shows booked in the stockyards.
Yeah.
If we can just get in the stockyards and let some talent buyers or venue owners or whatever just hear us play, maybe we can get some more venues in the stockyards.
Mm-hmm.
And then week after week, we kept winning, and now we're here talking to you.
What? Wah, wah, wah. but where was this at the what venue was this at?
This was at the Rhinestone.
Okay, I thought so. I just didn't want to put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah. Okay. And it ended up, all the stuff that we ended up gaining from the Battle of the Bands, because again, I'm going to reiterate what he said.
Yeah,
competing in music is probably the worst thing on the planet.
Completely agree.
It's such a yucky feeling.
It's like a damned if you do, if you don't.
Yeah, and again, we didn't give a shit about winning or anything like that. And that's God's honest truth. We really just needed a way to try to get our foot in the door in the stockyards. We really wanted to try to play in the stockyards, because in Fort Worth, that's, talk about dream come true stuff. Getting your foot in the door in the stockyards is a really helpful thing for anybody's career. So
especially
it was like
around here, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
For any musician around here, that's a big deal.
So when we got the opportunity, it was like, shit, we might as well, and again, like he said, we didn't think we would get past the first round, much less win. But we made so many friends and great connections and stuff like that from that experience. If there was a way to do all that and not have to compete, I would do it every day. But yeah, the competition part of it sucks ass. That's the worst thing in the world.
The good thing about the competition part of it is, you talk about being vulnerable. One of the real eye-opening parts of the competition was just because you won doesn't mean that you didn't get critiqued.
Oh yeah.
We didn't realize some of the critiques were, like, we're a talented band, but we need to focus in this area. We need to focus on a better stage presence, or
critique from who?
Or backup vocals. That was a big
backup vocals. Yeah, because he didn't sing harmonies until the Battle of the Bands. Now he sings harmonies. They're like, y'all need to have harmonies. So we learned a lot about us as a band from an outsider's perspective. That's going to give us an honest, unbiased opinion of what they believe we sound like. And getting that feedback, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of it's kind of a
Yeah.
little bit brutal. It's like hurts your feelings a little bit
But this was
if
during
you
the
take it that way.
competition?
Yeah. Oh yeah. At
Oh,
the end
okay,
of the
I
night,
got you.
they
I
would
got
give
you.
a critique of the bands that played, which was helpful. I mean,
Yeah, no,
it's a
really helps.
situation that you typically won't get because people don't want to be mean after a show
It
or
all
anything.
depends on how you accept the information.
Understand.
If you're one of those guys that you talking about that brag on yourself a lot, you're probably not going to accept it very well. But if you're open minded and you know what, they're probably right. We probably could use some work in this area, and you take the criticism with an open mind. It's actually very beneficial,
Yeah,
especially if you hear the same thing by more than one judge.
because we figured we sucked anyway. So
so
like
it, so
hearing
it,
that, I was like, oh,
it's
fair enough.
similar to I'm sure kind of what you hear in the studio with the producer, right?
100%.
I mean,
Yep.
it's your live show. It's the producer's feedback on your live show. I guess is basically the
Exactly. Yep.
same thing,
Well,
right?
some of them were actually producers.
Yeah, which
Okay.
was beneficial too. Yeah.
What? Why? I mean, we talked to a lot of people from Texas and or moved there. But there's a lot of people that there's a whole world. Texans don't believe this, but there's actually a whole other world out there that's not from Texas. Explain why the
Eh.
stockyards are such a big deal. I mean, as best you can.
Well,
I guess.
it's an open street basically with just club after club after club that
Is it
most of them you can walk into without a cover, and the great thing about it is there's no telling who will be there's literally no telling.
Well, don't I don't want to misquote, but isn't it also like the stockyards is so deeply ingrained into like Texas history
Yeah.
as being like one of the first like settlements out west, right? Like the furthest west settlement before on the trail to like California, right?
Yeah.
It was like one of the last stops. I think it's called like Hell's Half Acre or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And that's still in the stockyard. I think a lot of it has to do like nostalgia type stuff.
Gotcha.
Um,
I picture
But
like it's
yeah,
I picture like it's the Fort Worth version of. I mean, this may be completely off base, but their Broadway, like their version
Yeah,
of
it's
that,
Yep.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. Um,
the
I
not as
think
cheesy version.
the reason one of not the reason, but one of the reasons that the stockyards has gotten so popular in the last few years, and I'm not shit talking anybody. 7th Street in Austin used to kind of be
Understand?
that vibe. Like you would go down there and it would just be club after club after club, and there would be no telling who you could catch playing in there. And then Austin's gone through some
Right.
changes, and so I think Fort Worth kind of grabbed that and took the mantle of like, there's
I
live
hear it
music
all the time. I mean,
4 nights a
even
week.
here,
Yeah,
I hear as far as just how big of a scene and how big
when it,
of a deal
it's
it
kind of the
is.
same thing where you could be, in the stockyards on a Tuesday night and run into like Mike Ryan or Randy Rogers or
Mhm.
Cody Jinks. Like you
Yeah.
never know who's going to be just like roaming the stockyards.
Even
Yeah.
Post Malone, like he was
Yeah,
at the
Post
Rhinestone,
Malone's at the Rhinestone.
which is it's wild. They just again, you just never know who's going to be out there.
Well, we're lucky enough to have an event coming up there October 15th at the Rhinestone, and I'm going to be traveling in, and it's mind blowing to me. Honestly, it's
That's
called
going to be so much fun,
Yeah, look
man.
at
it's
the
the
calendar.
Stocktober at the
October.
Rhinestone. Tons and tons of folks that have been on the podcast that I've met through a computer screen that I actually get to meet in person. So it's going to be very cool. Along with me and Patrick with Country versus Metal, and Steve and the boys over at Hand Drawn Pressings and all this different. Man, it's going to be. I grew up most of my life here as a music fan, and I would go to the show and I'd recognize a few people that you see at all the shows, especially in Memphis, because there's not that big of a Americana, Texas country, whatever draw here compared to a lot of places. So you start seeing the same people, and then I go back home, now I actually understand, like, mingling and meeting people and meeting the artist and all that. So now that, since there's going to be like 30 damn artists that I've never actually got to meet in person there, it's going to be
It's going to be
ridiculous
crazy.
and cool. Not to mention Mint's deal with the terrible Bill Corbin.
The worst guy on the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah, so that's going to be ridiculous. But all right, well, we'll get to some rapid fire questions and get y'all out of here. Let me make sure I got everything. Oh, one more thing. You've been doing some the opening spots. I'm sure that's a great thing to do, and then a nerve-wracking thing to do. But when let's go with Sam. You play a show with Sam. They're there primarily to see Sam, but you start playing your songs, and you kind of notice maybe some heads start to bob. They're starting to dig what you're putting down. What do you? Then they might meet you at the merch table. And, you know, how is that feeling from y'all's point of view?
We feed off that.
Oh, 100%. That's it's such an amazing thing. Um we it is very nerve-wracking because you never know,
Yeah.
with any show, you never
Mm-hmm.
know if people are going to take to it or not. You hope they do. We've been really lucky, and we've had really good feedback every time we've opened. And then at this last one we just did with Sam at Tannehill's, it was the reception was phenomenal. We couldn't have asked for a better reception from the crowd. It's great, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think us as a band too, we're not all in our early 20s or even late 20s anymore,
Or 30.
or 30s. I I feel like we since we've matured over the years, like we rise to that occasion. I feel like we play better as individuals and as a group when the pressure's on, if you will.
Mm.
If we do really good here, we might get invited back, or we might, make 1,000 more fans, however many people's here, whatever. And I feel like in those moments, like we've always stepped up to the plate and put on our best performance. And I don't know if it's just a fluke or if it's just if we feed off the energy. I almost treat it as a game. It's almost a game to me. Like, how many songs is it going to take us to win this crowd out here tonight that doesn't know us?
Me and our drummer Carson, we have a thing where I will turn to him and I'll do this when I feel like, all right,
When you
we got him.
got
Yeah. And so it's he's absolutely right. It's something a lot of bands maybe wouldn't like doing it, because maybe they want to be the headliners, or they want to, or it's too much pressure or whatever. We love it, dude. That's what gets us out of bed, is that kind of like you're setting you're setting the table, you're setting the tone for the night.
mm-hmm.
And we say it all the time. Hate to play after us. That's the way we want to leave it.
I
Is like,
mean, there's tons of folks that I mean, one of the when you said that, the one that come to mind is the Eric Church story. I don't know if you remember this or not, but when he was opening for Rascal Flatts, and then there was like a handful of shows, and then he was too loud and too everything, and he kind of got removed from the
yeah,
opening spot, and
Well,
that worked out pretty good for
I
him.
think one of
I
the
think he's
things
doing
that works
okay.
to our advantage is we don't have nothing to lose. Like,
yeah.
we're already nobody, you know what I mean? So we try to, before stage, before we go on, uh, it's always, we're going to put our best foot forward. We're going to give the absolute best that we can give it. We're going to play like this was like we're not going to wake up in the morning, and we're just happy to be here. We're happy that somebody believed in us enough to allow us to be on such a stage in front of them. And so we take that moment in and then try to make the best of it. We're just happy to be there.
Legitimately.
Yeah,
But
because
like, people say that as a joke. We're legitimately just happy to be there.
a lot of people don't get those opportunities.
Definitely, and they don't get those opportunities to play music with their buddies either.
With their friends, yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with a hired musician at all, or a hired gun. I mean, because you got to do what you got to do to get to the show and to play the shows. But the people that are even if maybe you're not having the most talent on stage as you ever could or whatever, you're with your people. Like that
100%.
matters more than I don't think I would bet a lot of people wish they could do that, to be honest.
I mean, I think
It's
it always
hard.
translates on
Hard to do.
stage too. Is like we've laughed together, we've cried together, we've literally fought each other. You know, like it just so much goes into, like you said, just being with your buddy, and from going through all that and then stepping on to the stage that you're stepping on with your buddy, it adds a whole new element
Uh,
to the situation.
Kind of what I was thinking about is like if it was me and I'm I get a headliner or in a opening spot and I have to go piece together a band. They've done it before. It's more than likely it's old news to them. But then I'm the one that's got to take, I gotta make the money. I gotta pay everybody. I gotta probably go in debt to play this thing. I gotta, you know what I mean? All those things, right? And it's me. You get to go like a team, and
Yeah.
that's
Oh
I
yeah.
play. I think it's romantic to me because I'm in a similar situation with our bar band. The people that I've played music with, I played music with for close to 15 years. And even in the bar band world, that's a lot.
Oh
So I
yeah.
can only imagine in your position where that's, you know what I mean? Your people.
Yeah.
It's a team
It,
effort.
it it makes it that much better, honestly. Like knowing that it's not just like random dudes. You know what I mean? Like knowing that when we're done, like because we have a blast before the shows, after the shows, we have
That's
a
cool.
blast with each other. We're all idiots. We tell stupid jokes, and it's like we talked about before. Like when we go to a show, it's almost like you're just going to hang out with your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're just hanging out with your buddies,
Yeah. You
and you
bust your
just
ass
happen to play
all week long.
instruments.
Yeah. You,
Yeah,
you bust your ass all week long. This is the playing
100%,
golf or the fishing or whatever. This is the release or the escape.
100%.
The reward.
No doubt about it. All right, let's hit a couple rapid fire questions, and I got one final, very important question, and then we'll go get you out of here. All right.
All right.
What was the first concert you ever went to, and then like period, and then what was the first one that you chose and paid for yourself?
You go first.
My first concert was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at Six Flags. It was the Heroes in a Half Shell tour.
Okay.
Probably like
Go
19,
Ninja, go Ninja, go! Right.
100%, exactly.
All right. All right.
The first show that I paid money to go see that I wanted to go see, um, me and my wife went before she was my wife. We paid money to go see Los Lonely Boys in Austin
That's some
on New Year's
talented.
Eve. It was crazy. It was
That's some
unbelievable. All
talented
the other
dudes
shows
right
I'd
there.
been to at that point, I'd just kind of gone with people or, whatever. Los Lonely Boys, New Year's Eve in Austin with my girlfriend who ended up being my wife. That's a perfect first show to pay money for.
My first one was I started playing music in church, by the way, and it was with the youth group. We went and seen Third Day, Audio Adrenaline, and Newsboys all at the Six Flags Coliseum.
Dude, Six Flags representing right now.
Yeah, and that's where I got the bug. That's where I was like, man, I want to be a musician. Um, I think the first one that I paid money for, or actually my wife paid money for, because if I'm being honest with you, I don't do concerts because there's a underlying level of jealousy with me, you know. So I
Like the
don't, I
like
don't
the picture of the football player in the stands looking down at the
exactly.
field.
100%. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, I
So
got you.
anyway, she got us tickets to see Jason Isbell at the Whitewater Amphitheater in New
Yeah,
Braunfels.
with the
And the
full
good thing
band.
about that was it's all standing room only. So like first come, first serve. If you're there first, you're right on the stage.
Yeah,
So that was a hell of a concert too.
but that was with the 400 unit with the
Yeah,
whole group. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All right. Dinner with any historical figure. This can be musical, otherwise, your choice.
Oh man, that's
Living or
great.
or or past.
I'm gonna.
You don't have all night, dude.
I know.
That's okay.
As silly as it sounds,
Rapid fire's not really that rapid.
Oh,
man,
Things are slower in the South.
I would have loved to have been able to sit down and pick like Stevie Ray Vaughan's brain and just bullshit with him about you know Texas music and Austin back in the '80s and or late '70s, early '80s.
Hmm.
Like that to me would have been great. I would have loved to have sat down and had dinner with old Stevie Ray.
That's a good one.
Thank
I had more time to think about it than you did.
you. I know, man. Spit it out.
I think I'd said this on a podcast before, but maybe like Robert Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Just like that era of like blues and dirt floors and
Yeah.
What they went
no
through.
PA. You know, you're just a guy and his guitar and his voice, like nothing to hide behind.
Did you sell your
Did
soul
you
to the
sell your
devil?
soul at the crossroads? Like we want to know. I think that would do it for me.
That'd be cool.
That's I'm lucky enough to go to an event that Jason Eady puts on in Clarksdale. I went last year for the first time and spent some time in that city, and that's it is ingrained, like just ridiculously ingrained, and in like a very poverty like stricken town, honestly. And that's why he does that. That's why he does the thing there, is because like it's all benefits the town as well. You know, you're bringing 400 or
That's awesome.
500 people to rent things and put some money into the area. But you spend some time there and go see some of the stuff, man. It's crazy. The history is ridiculous.
Where'd you say it was at?
Clarksdale, Mississippi. That's where he sold his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was asking where the
The event.
so it's in the same spot.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But it's an annual thing.
He's I think this is year 3.
I'm
I
gonna have to
think
put
it's
that on my
only year
bucket
3.
list.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
it's not
super
a
cool.
festival. It's just like um it's a concert in an old commissary. Like basically is what it
Oh,
is. And
that's
the
awesome.
artists hang out all weekend. The Cotton Gin has turned into a motel, rooms downstairs and upstairs, and then all of the sharecropper shacks are still sharecropper shacks, and just kind of turned into little cabins. Like it is not
I'm
glamorous.
gonna have to put that on the bucket list.
It is not
That sounds
glamorous,
awesome.
but it is. Well, I mean, just as an example, you got Taylor Honeycutt, Adam Hood, Jason Eady, Sonny Sweeney. This year, last year was Silverado, and Silverado. They're just walking around. Everybody's hanging out for 2
That
days,
sounds amazing.
and they play. They're not just hanging out. They actually play
That's
music,
yeah.
and they
Yeah.
mix
I
and
bet
and
Sonny-
they mix and match, which is cool
Oh,
to see.
jeez.
Yeah, which is like if you're a music nerd, it's a hell of an event that Jason's got going on. So shout
we
out
gotta
to
go.
him.
Yeah.
All
Sold.
right, last one, the most important question. This started out as a joke on episode 1, and now it is a requirement that we ask this. So, this is tough. What is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
That's not tough.
It's
The-
hard hitting questions is what we do here.
The ding dongs,
Ding
man.
dongs.
Ding
No,
dongs, baby.
that's the hostess. That's the enemy.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
So Little Debbie,
Shit.
Swiss rolls.
Swiss rolls.
That's a
one.
Little
Yep.
Debbie.
Yes, it
Dude,
is.
I'm a Swiss. Look at me. I like Swiss rolls, of course. Come on.
Dude, I can't name a specific one. I'm a slut for Little Debbie's snacks. So
Yeah, exactly.
I,
So,
I
like,
can't
Do
like.
you like Swiss rolls too?
I love Swiss rolls.
You ever dip them in
Christmas tree
milk?
cakes and
I don't
Ooh,
experiment.
Christmas tree cake, zebra cakes.
Oh, wait a minute. Christmas tree cakes and zebra cakes are. They're practically a food group.
Even though they leave that weird film on the top
they
of your
do.
mouth.
Yeah, you're not really sure if it's
Man.
even food, but
Have you ever had Christmas tree cake dip at Christmas time?
I don't think so. No.
So is it like just a Texas thing? Have you ever had it?
I've never had it.
Well, look it up when you get off of here.
Okay.
If you like Little Debbie snacks, it's called Christmas tree cake dip, and they use Ritz crackers with it.
Can't believe I said ding dongs.
Dang,
God.
I agreed with you just loud.
It's the pressure of the serious questions that we do.
pressure of
Yeah,
Texas,
understand.
Tennessee.
Hey, there is
Soul
a
Gravy,
there.
Professor Soul Gravy got us.
Dr.
That's-
Soul Gravy.
Dr. Soul Gravy got us.
That's right. They there does seem to be like a Mason Dixon line of Little Debbie's, so it is odd. We didn't we're it's a kind of a research project as we go. We know they're in Texas though, so
Oh yeah,
all right.
hell yeah! Look at us. Of course, it's in Texas.
Look at us.
Look at me. Fair enough.
Hell, even Bill Corbin eats them, and look at him. So, all right, guys. So if make sure you go follow Ghost of Hill County on all the socials, wherever you stream your music. Hit that follow button. As they kind of mentioned earlier, unfortunately, you got to have a sales pitch for venues and opening spots and all that. So those follows, those interactions, all that stuff helps build the resume and helps along the way. Not to mention just growing the fan base in general. So hit those follows whenever they make posts, comment, share, all that kind of thing, because it sucks
And
to
if you
make a
are at a
post
show-
and don't engage. So
And
Go
if you
ahead.
are at a show and you take a photo with us, or you have something you want to say about the show, you can also go to our fan page, Ghost of Hill County Phantoms, and you can post those photos and interact with the band there too, like your experience from the show and stuff like that. So
Golly, good job, dude.
Uh-huh.
Damn,
that was professional and shit right there.
that's pro.
All right, guys, appreciate the time, and we'll catch you down the road.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
see you October 15th.
That's right, man. I can't wait.